Hello.
Hi.
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 We're going to review recreational vehicles today. Kathy and Mark were telling me that we had some kind of I don't know, what is it, a Chris Craft or something?
We probably shouldn't talk about that.
Oh.
But we can talk about lumberjacks. We can talk about winter.
Not a travel trailer, but a film trailer.
Film trailer.
Yes.
Who are we talking about today? What are we talking about? What are we talking
Maybe
about?
an old friend has come back for a visit.
Or we can go visit him.
Okay, let's do that.
Do that.
Let's check it out.
Who is it? Who could be? Oh, it's Dexter, and he's back.
Shall we roll that beautiful bean footage?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Here we go.
He's not in Miami.
So quiet and relaxing.
If sometimes you see that I'm mad, but I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
All right. So there's a few things. Let's unpack that, shall we? Song choice. Perfect. Because they say some people think you're mad, but their intentions are good. And that's been Dexter. That is pretty much defines Dexter.
Right.
So when did Dexter come out? That came out, it was hot. Let's see, it's premiered when? I shouldn't ask questions. I don't know the answer.
I don't know. You're the Dexter aficionado.
But yeah, I watched Dexter from the very beginning.
Me too.
And did you watch all the way to the end?
I did. Yes.
You know the controversial ending. I don't know if I don't want to spoil a ton of stuff, but the ending is pretty much universally reviled.
Right. Well, I think the last
terrible.
season kind of bombed out a little bit. I thought the first 3 or 4 were fantastic.
The first 2 or 3 were great. I mean, 3 was sort of starting to slide a little bit.
Was that Lithgow in that one?
Yeah.
Or was that, yeah.
That was good because I felt like it showed promise because Lithgow was such a great villain. But it also kind of, in a way, exposed the weaknesses of the show, which was where, unfortunately, the female characters were just terribly written. Not sympathetic at all. And the whole kind of creepy, incestuous relationship with his sister. Didn't quite understand that.
Jennifer Carpenter. 2006 is when it came out.
Okay.
And then it ended in 2013. So, yeah.
Okay.
So about 7
and it was
years.
a slog to the end. But I felt like I'd invest. It was such a great character when it started. I read the books. I love the idea that, he had, what was it called? The passenger that would sort of guide him. But he works as a forensic, I guess not a forensic pathologist, but a forensic, interpreter, he investigated
blood
clues.
Splatters and all that.
I'm not using very good lingo right now. But then
forensic scientist, right?
Forensic scientist.
For the Miami Police Department.
Right. And what would happen, he was frustrated seeing that a lot of terrible people were not convicted. So his thing was sort of vigilante justice. He would go and he would murder viciously, horribly inside a plastic lined room, these people who got away with murder. He was actually, considering that he was supposed to be a serial killer, he pretty much dispatched them almost quickly. He just did a big stab right in the middle of the chest and they were dead instantly. It's not like he tortured them and, did any kind of weird sexual mutilation. He just went, boop, dead. But he made sure, because he understood forensics, that the scene was pristine by the time he was done. So, and the police weren't trying super hard to solve crimes against murderers. So that was another thing. So, but what happened is Dexter kind of went on this arc of where the rules were very clearly defined in the first few seasons, and then he just started breaking his own rules just indiscriminately, and they didn't really address it, like where he would start killing people who didn't deserve it, or trying to cover his tracks, or just doing kind of sloppy stuff. And I feel like he was too smart to be that way, so I felt like it wasn't him that got sloppy, it was the writing that got sloppy. So, but in the meantime, Michael C. Hall totally delivered the whole time. I mean, he was fully invested, he was great, he was the highlight of the show. And because you liked him. I mean, that's why I like that trick where this character's doing kind of bad stuff, but you still like the guy.
Like Mads and Hannibal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Or the guy in The Shield. Remember Michael Chiklis's character in The Shield?
Yeah.
That's
good. And the opposite of this, probably one of the greatest endings to a series I think I've seen.
Right.
The Shield ending was great.
Yeah.
But I hope it goes back to its. I'm not sure who the showrunner is for the new season on Showtime, but the first couple of years it really delivered, and I thought the cast was really good, and then it just sort like you said, it's just started to go off the rails, classically off the rails. And
I kind of lost it. I lost
Yeah.
it for Dexter after, I think maybe sooner than you guys, because I just felt like it was the same. It was like, okay, I get this. I see, and I kind of get a little bit. I'm a little put off by the sort of smirky, like everything this trailer is something that makes me not want to see it. You know what I mean? That sort of smiling at the camera thing, like the little boy at the end of The Omen. It's like The Omen was the first thing that did that, where the character does or maybe Harold and Maude, I don't know, where one of the characters does the sneaky, quirky smile at the camera, and
fourth wall.
Yeah, and I think what we're supposed to do is go, oh yeah, he's back, and at the end of The Omen, it was creepy because you'd never seen that before, and it was like the little boy was literally smiling at you out of the film, the little demon boy, But in this case, it's like, oh, that thing again. He's smirking at the camera, and it just, I don't know. It's like.
Well, I give them some leeway because it's a promo and not the show. So
Right.
I think it's okay to break the fourth wall in a promo, which he's coming back with a knowing wink that we all know who he is already, which I give them credit for not over explaining who he is, because the temptation would be at a network, if you're going to do promotion like this, is like, well, what if people don't know who Dexter is? What if they don't realize there's another show? Like, well, they didn't care. They're like, we're speaking to Dexter fans.
Right.
And so they gave you a lot of clues. First, they hinted at the winter setting because at the end of Dexter, he becomes like a lumberjack. He disappears into the wintry forest. He becomes a lumberjack. That was a big, stupid ending of the show. So it was just horrible. And so, it had that kind of ending. So that's how it ended, him just in a cabin in the woods. So the fact that they're kind of leaning into that can be they're knowingly leaning into it going, we know you guys hated the ending, but we're going to do something about it. Or it's like, fuck, did they not learn from that terrible ending? So I'm a little nervous on which way it's going to go. But there was another trailer, which we didn't watch, where it just showed an axe in the stump of a tree. So again, hinting at the lumberjack ending of the Dexter series. I love him turning to camera and giving us a smile, because that's what I want to see right now. I want to see Dexter looking at us with that smile. I really wanted that. So I feel like it delivered to me on a promo level. And
the question is, when the questions is the show going to be set, in the wintry Canadian landscape or wherever this is supposed to be, or is he going to somehow get back to Miami or go to another city and sort of get his life? I mean, who knows, right? I really hope it's not. He's not in the in that scape. It just
think
it seems like you have to really squeeze some stories out of that location and that situation where he's isolated. He needs to be among people that he can kill episode after episode.
Oh, there's plenty of people up in the northern states can be killed. But also, I think too, part of the appeal of Dexter was they had that great Miami Cuban flavor. It had the whole culture. They had all the references to the food, and it was just very, very exciting and fun to just see the sunny climate and the great, cool, weird Miami shirts like he wore. At the same time, I also kind of like the idea that they would do a complete reversal and have him go back to his old ways in the winter. Like he's lumberjack, but he's not, and he's still a killer. But ultimately, whatever happened to Dexter, he was never getting off on it, supposedly. But he did sort of, see himself as a, the hero for justice. But then you have to go, well, you obviously kind of enjoyed it, or kind of enjoying it. But I don't know. It's going to be just Michael C. Hall is all they're selling with this.
If it goes back to the first season where he's really smart and it's interesting and they bring in some other wrinkles, some other characters that give it a twist, then I'll be interested. But if it kind of goes back to sort of the latter, it's just going to be the same old. And I was tired of it. They brought in, all these other, each year is a different actor or, somebody comes in. And at the end, it was just sort of, my God, they're really, it was just like, wow, there's this stretching credulity, as they say,
Yes.
So.
Well,
he's good. I remember watching 6 Feet Under, and he was really good in that.
Love him.
His character was so complicated in that show.
He's great. I mean, he does a Bowie, like on Broadway. He did this Bowie show that he's David Bowie. It's unbelievable. Yeah. He's incredible. Yeah. So
he's a great actor. So I'm excited to see what he'll do with this character now, because I feel like he's probably going to bring something to it. So Burk, is this enough to bring you back in to take a look at it?
I feel like I'd have to watch the
No,
show now. The first,
don't watch
the first series. You know,
maybe watch the first and second season, but skip all the rest.
those are the
It'll be
ones I watched. I watched the first season, and I was just like, I don't know. It just didn't appeal to me for some reason. I wasn't.
I've got Dexter coasters, official Dexter coasters here at the house with
Wow.
blood stains all over them. They're pretty cool.
Love it. That's really
I'll,
nice.
I'll throw a couple of those at you next time I see you.
Well, I have hopes because I like the whole, like, you know, a little bit of humor with a little bit of the, you know, serial killer aspect. So I'm definitely going to be checking this out.
That stuff has to be awful good if I'm going to watch it. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's.
You have higher standards than I do.
I felt like the writing wasn't quite.
It wasn't.
You know, it was sort of like, here's a funny serial killer. He's fun, and you like him. And after a while, it's like, all right, he's going to kill this person, and he's going to kill that person, and I don't know.
Oh, Burk, that's a super big reduction of that.
I know, but that's what I was.
But that's what they all do.
Yeah,
I thought
I know.
the first couple of seasons I thought were great. It was very exciting, but then it lost its way. So if it goes back to the early stuff, I'll be totally into it. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right then. So if there's more teaser trailers, we'll be watching them here.
Yeah, your official Dexter headquarters, except for Burk.
Thanks for joining us.
I might watch it.
We're gonna make Burk watch it because we're gonna.
If you guys watch it and then say it's really good, you should watch it. I'll watch it.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe we'll do a party. Watch it.
All right then.
All right.
All right. See you next time.
Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Cinemato YouTube channel.
That was fast.
I feel like it's the beginning of the Rank organization movies.